hey mom, I am in the army basic training and I'm okay. I'll be home. I wanted to do this. Do not be scared. Get out of the bus. Get out. Come out. Carry your bags. Run. People were passing out. People were crying. Get away from me. I can hear you because you don't have a battle bag. Get away from me. I dig my pockets. Searched everywhere for an American accent. I could not find any. For what I went through, little did I know that it was just the beginning of hell.
So we need to move like water, 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 water.
I honestly don't know how I feel about this one. I don't even know how this video is going to go because I never for once thought that I will be sitting here 6 years later talking about my basic training experience, because that is a memory I do not want to revisit at all. I do not. But for the sake of the people, you know, the African community especially, wanting to join the military and finding themselves in the United States, not knowing where to start from, you know, feeling lost, feeling hopeless, feeling the loneliness and confused in general. If this video found you, you are just about to find your purpose. Hi guys, welcome to another interesting episode of our shenanigans. If you are new, welcome. However, if you are a returning subscriber, you know you and I, our hearts are interlocked. Okay, per the title of the video, you know exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Without wasting much time, let's get straight into the video. It's going to be a lot. I don't know if I should get a tissue or not, because I don't know, it might get a little emotional. For those of us who don't really know what this girl is about, what her journey has been, why she's here today, and why she keeps doing what she does, we are going to find all of these out together. So guys, quick backstory because it's going to be relevant in this storytelling. I came to America from a West African country in 2018, like September, October 2018 time frame. Mind you, it's about to get scary. I was in my first year in college back home before I came to America. Okay, so when I came to America, all I wanted to do was to finish school, because per the questions I asked and the people who were around me at that time, when you start to work, okay, and when you start earning some money as a newbie in America, it might become a habit and there's no going back. So I did not want to be in that situation whereby I would start working and then the money would sweet me that I wouldn't want to go back to school. So I just wanted to go to school and get it over with and then find a career. But God said, your plans are not my plans, my daughter. You are on my plan. So fast forward, I met some great people in my life who were fortunately from the same country I came from. So we spoke the same language. It was easier for us to communicate. It was easier for me to ask them questions where I am confused, where I need guidance, and where I need all the coaching, right? So yeah, in the process of me asking questions and trying to figure out things and all of that, I met my recruiter, okay, Daofe. His retirement video is up on the channel, so if you haven't checked it out, please do. So I met Daofe at that time in 2018. Before that, okay, one of the people who is the reason why I'm here today, whom I can't stop giving thanks to, took me to a Ghanaian hair braiding shop. This was a shop she herself had worked in before. So we went to the shop, and in the process of her introducing me to the women in the shop, one woman, I call her Majwa, okay, drew me closer to her and she asked me, so what are your plans? How old are you? Like, what were you doing when you were back home? And all of that. I told her everything. And then she asked me, do you want to join the military? I was like, huh? Like, the people I watch on TV who be shooting and fighting. This lady might not know me. So fast forward, even before I said yes or no, this lady was already on phone with, at that time, the person that was going to be my recruiter that I had no idea of. So she boom, 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 talked to him, passed me the phone. I spoke to this man. I was like, sir, I know I hear you talk, but I have no plans of joining. So I'll let you talk, but you're not going to hear from me again. I guess I lied. So fast forward, I took this man's number. We came home. I was in communication with this man like every day, every hour, every minute, because I had questions, right? He was also from my country, so we spoke the same language. You see how God was playing things out for me? Let's continue the story. So he explained things to me. He told me all I needed to know. He was so patient with me, answered all my questions, whether annoying or not, blah, blah, blah. And please, fam, if you have not watched my life-saving recruiter turned my dad video on this channel, please make sure you do, because he's an amazing person. He is one of the reason why I am here today. So please check it out up on the channel. I'll put it up here so that you can go check it out. But yes, back to the story. He told me all I needed to know and everything. He came to the house a couple of times to make sure I understood what I might get myself into and all of that. Personally, me, when I'm getting myself or about to get myself into something, I do my research on the side. So prior to him even coming to the crib, I had already done my little research on the questions that I have been asking him. So fast forward, I decided to take the ASVAB and all of that. I took the ASVAB. I did great. I did amazingly well. He was very excited for me. And even before I took the ASVAB, I prayed more like, give me a sign prayer. So I asked God, if you really want me to do this, please let me pass this ASVAB. And truth be told, I passed. So I guess that was my sign number one. Prior to me going to write the ASVAB, he asked me if I had any college transcripts and all of that. Remember, I was already in year 1 of college before America happened for me. So he had already put all my paperwork together. Like, that affair was on top of his game, okay? Chef Kiss, he was one of the recruiters you would love to have. Like, my process was very smooth and easier for me, so it didn't even discourage me or stress me at some point to even have me reconsider my decision. Mind you, my parents, my brothers, my family did not know I was joining or had plans of joining the military. So yes, after days of medicals, background investigation, all the good stuff and all of that, right? My days of speculation were over, okay? Signed my contract, got a day to ship out to basic training. It was starting to get real. Mind you guys, I worked in McDonald's. Wow, the good old days. Memories. So yes, I worked in McDonald's, I think from November 2018 through January 2019 time frame, and I had to sadly give them a notice that I will be joining the military, so I wouldn't be working here no more. They loved me, okay? Let me know, would you not employ me if I give you this smile? Would you not? I was working at a drive-thru at McDonald's a lot. Most of the customers would just compliment me because of my smile and all that, and the managers were getting the hint of it because they would literally park their cars and come inside and tell the managers that I'm doing a great job. So it was a blow to them that they were losing me, but I had to do what I had to do. I had to go and fulfill my destiny, my purpose, okay? So yes, the day came for me to ship out. My family still do not know about this plan, okay? They do not know. 19th February 2019 was the day I shipped out to basic training. I remember on the 18th of February 2019, my recruiter Dow Fair picked me up from the crib, from the house, took me to Fort Meade, Baltimore in Maryland, from Virginia to Baltimore for more paperwork and all of that. I don't really remember the sequence of event because it's been long, and like I said, this is a memory I do not want to revisit. And one thing I am just realizing is I feel because I told myself I do not want to remember this phase of my life, I kind of started forgetting things, and I do not forget things easily. I am a memory keeper. Like, I keep memories from when I was 2 years old and all. So that should tell you how specific and intentional I wanted to psych my mind to forget this, and then you will eventually understand why. So fast forward for me, Baltimore, we stayed there for a little minute, and then the bus took us to a hotel. The bus ride was a little long, okay? I was alone. I was very quiet in my own little corner in the bus ride because I didn't really know anyone, and I wasn't really confident with the way I spoke and the way I came off with people interactions because I had accent, like a very thick accent, I believe at that time for people to really understand what I'm saying. I spoke English just fine, don't get me wrong, but if you know, you know. I didn't have the American accent anywhere. I dig my pockets, search everywhere for an American accent. I could not find any before I went to basic training. I am saying this very loosely, but eventually you would understand why this is even part of this conversation. So the bus ride was long. I don't even remember if we stopped to get food or use the bathroom or not. All that was going through my mind was, what am I getting myself into? Why am I here? What am I doing? So fast forward, we were dropped off at a hotel. It was a nice hotel. That was the first time I was getting an American hotel experience. I was like, if this is what the Army is, oh, I'm signing more contracts after this. At the hotel, we received some brief and we got food card or meal card to get dinner, breakfast or lunch or something at that time. Before we went to bed, we were told where to meet the next day and all that, blah blah blah. So after the brief, I went into the room and I was like, oh, this is nice. Privacy, by yourself. Like, I was liking it. Okay, I was loving it. I don't really remember what I did at the hotel. All I know is that people went out to socialize and I was just indoors, because like I said, what's the point of socializing if I didn't really feel confident in my people interaction? Okay, so I genuinely instantly developed some form of social anxiety. So the next day came another bus ride to BCT, basic combat training. Again, I was in my little corner. Honestly, do not remember how many hours we were on the road for, but all I know is that that bus ride was long. Okay, so this is where the story gets interesting. So bus ride to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. My military folks, if you know, you know. As soon as we got to our destination, the environment suddenly started to change. Okay, you could feel that you are in a different environment. Like, the civilian life is slowly leaving your body. So I think the drill sergeant came on the bus and told us what we need to do when we come off the bus and all of that. We were told to turn off our phones or put it on silence or whatever. I don't really remember. I do not, honestly. So sad. We got off the bus. We were in formation, like dress in a line the whole time. You can't talk to nobody. You're not turning your head. You just looking straight where the drill sergeant are telling you to look is where you are looking. So that was reception. So we were getting in process. This is where we get all our pictures taken. There's a whole lot of briefing with the Army policies, regulations, command policies, programs, a whole lot of briefings. Okay, like EO, SHARP. You get briefed on GI Bill, TA, TSP, appearance in the military, customs and courtesies, all of that. At that time, I didn't know these were called that at that time. Okay, this is where you make sure all your entitlements are good. This is where you and your family members, if any at a time you sign your contract, are taken care of. So if you're married, have children, have a child and all of that, they make sure to take their paperwork so they can get their military entitlements like TRICARE and ID cards and all the good stuff, dental and all the good stuff, right? This is where a lot of medicals were done. Okay, like thorough medicals, like I'm talking about blood work. This is where we get our clothes, measurements for OCPs and ASUs at that time. Now it's pinks and greens. So I would say dress uniforms, shoes, PTs, boots, CIF gear for the field, everything clothing. So this process took us some days. Okay, we were not even outside to tell if it's night or day. We were just inside going from one place to the other. This is where the men got their haircuts. They got boarded up. So after days of sleep deprivation, finally came to an end of this entire process. So we had to get introduced to in-processing drill sergeants. We got put in platoons. We had our name tags with corresponding platoon colors of whatever platoon you are going to. We had blue, yellow, red, and green colors. I was blue colors, so I had to move with the people that had my color. We were put in platoons or groups for easy identification and bus allocation to our next stop when the time came. After we passed through this phase successfully, it was time for us to move to our next destination, which is the real deal. So again, another bus ride, but this time around very short. Okay, as soon as we got to our next destination, which is boot camp grounds, the real deal, all we heard was screams and yelling. Get out of the bus! Get out! Come out! Carry your bags! Run! I was like, uh-oh, what are you doing here, girl? What can you do? What can you say? You are being told what to do at this point. You're just following commands. You're just going where everyone is going. It's starting to unfold in my head. I remember they took our bags first before we went. When we came down from the bus, we were told to go find our bags. Mind you, this is a lot of people. They mixed our bags together. Remember, I was telling you that our bags were sorted out in colors. Our bags were tagged with the colors according to what platoon you were going to go to. Tell me why when we went to find our bags, we could find red, green, blue, yellow mixed in a pile. You have to go and find your bags along with everyone else trying to find their bags too. I did not understand why they had to do that at that time, but later on I realized it was because they wanted us to work in teams. It was our first teamwork activity that we had to, figure out. But at that time, it was punishment to me. I do not care what teamwork situation you got going on. I just want to find my bag and leave. Okay? So we found our bags eventually, and mind you, it was 2 duffel bags. Each individual had 2 duffel bags regardless. So we all had to carry 2 duffel bags from where the bus dropped us to our respective destinations. First exercise, shock attack. We had to carry our bags, run in place. It was called the shock attack at that time. I don't know if they still do it, but you carry your bag, our heavy bags. It's like you jog in place with the bags. It was a fun activity. Now that I'm thinking back, it was kind of fun because I get to say it today. People were passing out, people were crying, all the fun stuff. So yeah, we did that, and I think after that, they took us to chow. Chow is like dining, like going to eat. Dinner, lunch, breakfast is called chow in the military. So it was time for dinner, so we went to eat. And when we came back, we did more exercises, and at the end of the day, we got to go into our bays and take showers and go to bed. So day 1 passed successfully. Guys, honestly, I don't really remember the series of events. Honestly, all I know is that there are 3 phases or 4. Red, yellow, white, blue or white. I do not remember. And the purpose of this video is to encourage someone, precisely someone who is from a foreign country like me when I came to America and then joined the military like within 6 months of me being in America. So fast forward, basic training, you have to do activities to pass every phase in order for you to go into the next phase. All the basic stuff that you have to do as a soldier. You guys know where. If you don't know where, if you go, you're going to find out. They are fun. Now I'm hearing it is getting a little lenient. That's what I heard. Okay, don't quote me, but I'm hearing it is getting a little lenient because of changing generation and different generations. However, there are a series of activities that you have to complete and then pass in different phases. There is victory tower, marksmanship, PT test. At that time, it was APFT, where we had only 3 events: sit-ups, push-up, and a good old run. Now, ACFT, and even now, AFT. But yeah, that's how you've been in the army a little bit. I can flex a little bit, okay? At least I did not wear the old OCPs or BDUs or whatever it was called, but at least I have had the graduation of APFT to ACFT to AFT. At least something, okay? But yeah, this is where my story comes in, okay? Depending on how I feel when editing this video, I might take this out or I might not, because I want this to be real as possible for anyone watching this video. This is not to say that basic training is hard, you can't accomplish it, but for what I went through and for what I had to go through in order for me to complete successfully and not be recycled, I call my journey a testimony. Out of nowhere, I did not sprain my ankle. I did not twist an ankle. I do not remember doing anything that hurt my legs. But out of nowhere, I woke up one day and then my knees were just non-functional. I'm talking about like my whole legs, like my lower extremity were non-functional. I thought it was just a little glitch in my legs, and the next day I will be better. So I didn't really think much of it because, okay, maybe my body is going through some phases and some changes, so it's overwhelmed and it will come back to normal. Little did I know that it was just the beginning of hell for me. So day one, I felt pain. I couldn't walk properly. I was limping, like you could see it. I could not just stand on my legs straight. I could not just walk normal like how everyone was walking. And at some point, I was kind of jealous about the people who were just walking normal. Like people that were just walking normal became like a big deal to me, because I'm like, how are you walking normal? You should thank God that you're walking normal, because I can't do that right now. So fast forward day 2, day 3, day 4, I could not hide it anymore. I could not keep on. I'm a very strong-willed and strong-minded person. I could go through pain and smile through that pain. This was a part of my body that I need for my basic training phase to be a success, for me to graduate. I needed my legs for the most part through this whole training. So I couldn't do it no more. So I had to go to the hospital. They did an MRI. So for the people who don't know what MRI is like a visual imaging of your internal bones, or it views your skeletal tissues to see what is broken and what is not broken. I think they did that, and then they saw that my tendons within my ankles and my knees were torn. So I had ankle tendonitis. I believe that name is still stuck in my head because they told me. And I remember the doctor telling the drill sergeant that, how am I even walking with this condition? They asked me if I wanted to see the imaging, like the pictures, the results. I told them I don't want to see them. I just want to graduate and then leave. Before I left the place, they gave me 2 crutches. I was in crutches. They gave me crutches. Yep, I was given crutches. For someone who I thought I was strong and physically fit at that time, I was given crutches to assist with my daily walking. Basic training, right? Because the training could be overwhelming to some of us, and plus it's not the drill sergeant's first rodeo of, training trainees. They know how it goes. That some of us trainees could fake that we are ill. Some of us trainees could fake that we are not feeling well in order to get out of trainings. It was a little harder to communicate your health concerns because you might be stigmatized. You might be put in a box that you are either faking it or you are weak at that time. So I saw that environment. I saw that going on, especially among the females at that time. And I just didn't want to put myself up for ridicule because, we are all there to succeed. And I felt like doing that would put me in the spotlight too much. And I didn't want that. So I guess that is why I kept going and didn't want to go seek medical attention. But now I know better. So soldiers, if you are listening to me, okay, go get help. Go get all the help you need if you really need that medical attention. Okay, do not care what anyone is going to say. Do not care what anyone will think. At the end of the day, you know what you are feeling inside of your body, and you need the medical assistance, especially if you want to graduate successfully. So that being said, because I was in crutches, automatically it made me ineligible to pick up any squad or platoon positions like the squad leader, the platoon sergeant, the team leader, and all of that. At that time, it made me feel some kind of way because I'm a little competitive. Like, there's a reason why I have this on my chest in the span of 6 years. Okay, I made this rank in 5 years in this career. And although it might be MOS, specific points and whatnot, I worked hard for this. Okay. Guys, our camera overheated, so I had to stop recording for a little while, but we are back and I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, maybe I would have to do a part 2, but I don't know how this video is gonna pan out. I can't fit all emotions into one because it's a lot I have to say, but I have to find ways to explain how I felt at basic training. Like I was saying, I felt left out. I felt I would have been more productive if my legs were not broken. So I felt some type of way because I'm a very strong-willed and a motivated person. So me not being able to be a part of these kind of positions, or me not being able to be part of the program entirely as I could if I was fitter, broke me to some extent because I couldn't believe it was happening to me. I know some of the girls were talking behind my back, even some of the boys, because some of the girls in the platoon or in the bay would take your story or would talk about you to some of the other platoon members, and it's okay. Like, look at me now. Like, yes, shade, pun intended. But yeah, I was hurt. I couldn't do some of the activities to the best of my ability if I was fitter and not carrying crutches. About a week, I told my drill sergeant that I want to take the crutches back. I want to be a part of the activities, because when you're in crutches and we had to go to certain destinations or locations for training, you would ride on a bus, okay, and your other battle buddies will be walking the entire distance. So at some point I told the drill sergeant that I want to come out of the bus and use the crutches and follow. He asked me, are you sure? I was like, yes, I want to. He's like, trainee, are you sure? I was like, yes, drill sergeant, I want to crutch my ass language. I want to crutch my sorry looking self with them. I want to be a part of the team. And he was like, sure. So I came off the bus at some points of our journeys to the training sites and followed my colleagues with my crutches. I wasn't doing anything that would break my profile. Obviously I was on profile, NMC profile, but that did not really stop me from wanting to do things. Even before I was able to gather the courage to go to the hospital to be seen, I remember we was at PT formation one time. If you're in the military, you know the preparatory drills and everything. I was so much in pain that I could not even do simple preparatory drills. Like, the prep drills were hurting me. I couldn't even do it. Like, simple bending and squatting. At basic training, you need a battle buddy. So for the people not in the military, battle buddy is like someone who accompanies you. So if you're a female, you have to have a female with you in order for you to be able to communicate in person with a drill sergeant. So say you want to say something to the drill sergeant in private. There's no privacy like that. You have to go with a female, or you have to go with two males if there's no female. I understand now why they do that in the military, because some of us can be iffy. Child. At that time, I did not understand why that was a thing, but being in the military for a little minute, I now understand why they were doing that, because we were doing the exercise, like because we were all actively involved in the exercise, I didn't really want to bother anyone. So I didn't really think of it as a big deal not having a battle buddy. And because I was in so much pain, I didn't even think of my next action. I just came out of the formation, and as I was approaching this drill sergeant to tell him I was in pain, he started yelling at me. Like, get away from me, I can hear you because you don't have a battle, but get away from me. He was just screaming, and my only concern at that time was I am in pain and I need to be seen. That was my only concern. And even at that time, I don't think that was the same day I was able to go see a provider. I think it was the next day or something when I couldn't take it anymore. Back to me not telling my parents about me joining the military. It's not because they would have stopped me. It's not because they would have told me no. I know most of us coming from an African background, especially, right? We are used to doing things to please our parents, doing things because our parents say so, basically following orders or pleasing our parents. But that was not the case for me at all, thank God. I grew up, fortunately, God being so good, had parents who would support me even if I told them I want to be a farmer. Not to degrade farmers at all, but that is the extent of how much my parents are willing to support me. I changed my program I wanted to read in high school last minute, and my mom said, okay, that's what she wants to do. I support her. I had parents like that. So it was not because they wouldn't have supported me. It was just I didn't know the direction I was going to, and I wanted to be sure before telling them. Fast forward after a month or so, when you go to basic training, at that time that I went in 2019, we had our phones locked away with any other electronic devices that you had on you on the day you came to basic training. So after a month of good conduct and behavior, because it is the drill sergeant's discretion to either give us phone calls or not. So after I think a month of basic training, we were able to get phone calls. I was so lucky it wasn't entirely dead. Other people were looking for places to charge their phones in order for them to make their phone calls. But as soon as I got my phone, as soon as I turned it on, I went on WhatsApp and I called my mom, and I think she didn't answer. So I was in the process of leaving a voice note, and then her call came through. And I remember the entire words I said that day. I was like, hey mom, I know you haven't heard from me for a long time. I am in the Army basic training and I'm okay. I'm okay. I wanted to do this, so don't feel bad. Do not be scared. I'll be home and then we will talk more. And I remember at that time, I checked my bank account. And that check was fat. Mind you, I was working in McDonald's for a while, for like 2 months. So when I say the check was fat as compared to the McDonald's check that I was getting, that check was fat, okay? I remember I sent money to my mom and then I added, please give so and so amount to my little brothers and use this amount for yourself. I was so proud. And then my mom, I remember she was quiet on the phone. She was like, oh, sorry, the microphone. I remember she was so quiet on the phone. And she was like, United States Army? I was like, yes, Mom, I'll be okay. Okay, I just want you to know that I have only 5 minutes and I can't really talk and I can't explain things to you. But as soon as I get out of this training, I just want you to pray for me. And my mom was like, okay. I don't know if my mom's voice made me sadder or it was because I was able to send that amount of money for the first time in my adulthood life. I had sent some money previously from the McDonald's job that I was doing, but this time around it was a little huge amount because when I saw my bank account balance, I was surprised too. Mind you, I didn't have any obligation to send any money back home, but at that point in time, I felt that was the right thing to do. I don't know, but I just felt it in my heart and spirit. I felt at peace with myself after that phone call. I stayed in that corner that I was at after the phone call for a minute, and then I just kept playing my mom's voice over and over and over in my head. That made me a little better. So phone calls were over. We put our phones back to lock and key. After some days, like I was saying, I said I was going to take the crutches back. I didn't want to seem incompetent because basic training, when you have crutches, at the time that I went, it had a little stigma. I'm not someone who care about what people think or what people's perception about me was. But maybe because of the language barrier, I was trying to, make conversations without people having to ask me, every time. It was just too much for me that I started caring what people thought about me. And then because I know they were talking crazy, because some of the girls came, they were hurt, and then they had to go home. Some of them didn't want to continue. It was a whole lot. So there was the stigma going around already. So if you all of a sudden appear to be on crutches or sick or ill, it follows you, like they mix you in it. And then I guess I was younger too, so it kind of like had a toll on me. But yeah, we did all the training that we were supposed to do, went through all the phases. I told my dress I want to send the crutches back. I want to walk on the pain. I want to limp, do everything without the crutches. I want to just have a testimony because I know that this was more than just physical, and I just wanted to just push through the pain and say that I did it one day. Obviously I was still in pain. The pain had not disappeared, but I sent it back. The doctor was like, are you sure? They gave me some pain meds, good old Tylenol, good old ibuprofen. They did not work. I had to take them, and then also they gave me an ankle or knee braces or bracelets, something to hold my ankle together and my knees together. So that kind of helped a little bit. Yes, I remember the last event we had to pass, which was the APFT at that time. I did that in tears. You have to pass a 2-mile run in a certain minutes per your age and gender. At that time, I think I was 21 or something. So I had to do it before 19 or 20 minutes. And I think my run time was 18:30 something. So through the pain, through the tears, through the crutches, through the stigma, through the perception, I did it, guys. I did it. And we are here today. We are here today. And then after I passed, I think few days later, it was family day, whereby our families come to see us, and it's like a whole day event. So for the first time, we get our phones for the whole day, and then you and your families can go wherever y'all want to go to, and then come back before a certain time. I did not have no family here at that time. My dad, my brothers, my mom are all in different parts of the world, not America. So some of us did not have our families coming to visit, so we were just on our own. I remember I went to either Charlie's or Panda Express, I don't remember. I went to get food with some of my battle buddies who also did not have families coming to visit them. And then for the first time ever, I felt some kind of fulfillment. I felt this is pain, but this is my happy ending. This is my testimony. The whole day we had our phones, so I talked to family. I did not explain to them what I've been through yet because I didn't want my mom to overthink and cry or have to worry about me. So I just told her that we are done with the training and tomorrow is graduation and we are moving to the next phase of training, which is AIT. It was a great day. Even though they were not there with me physically, my family has always been with me spiritually throughout the entire journey, because I don't think I would have made it without their prayers for me, especially my mom. The next day was graduation. It was very emotional. Families were there waiting as usual. Seeing videos from how it looks when you are watching it from the crowd is so fulfilling and promising. So basically this is how it looks. Very nice, very promising. A lot of dreams, a lot of passion, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of wanting to give up, a lot of talking yourself through, a lot of spirit, a lot of feeling some type of rejection, feeling some type of loneliness, a lot of perseverance, a lot of hard work. A lot went into this. And at the end of the day, we do it because we love to do it. It is a lifestyle. I chose this lifestyle and I embrace it with every bone in me. Obviously, it's not for everyone. I will not say that join the military if you don't have the heart for it. But at the end of the day, this is my testimony. This is my story. AIT, something great happened. When I went to my first unit, something great happened. BLC, something happened. ALC, something happened, which we probably would have seen on the channel already, but I know who I am. I know where I come from. I know where my roots are. And because of that, it's always chin up for me. I never, ever look down upon myself. And so the long and short of this whole story is that I believe that you carry some potential in you, and I always tell people that if I could do it, you can do it too. Have your eyes on the prize. Remember why you are doing whatever you are doing. There are going to be some hiccups. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? It's not the job that is going to be hard. It is the journey to that success story that is going to be hard. The military to me is not hard, but the people that we have to deal with every day is the hardest part of this career. I am here today, 6 years later, sharing my story. I never thought of sharing because all the mentality I had was doing this contract and getting out. Here I am today. I guess I lied. So guys, this is where time will permit me to end. I know it has been a lot. Probably all I remember to say. If I did not add anything, probably because I didn't remember. But if you have the ability and the capability to do all the things that you say you are going to do, don't let nothing stop you, because time is like on wheels, okay? I remember 5 years ago, we were in 2020. COVID and everything. In a blink of an eye, we are in 2025. How time is flying needs to be studied. However, guys, it has been a journey. 6 years on, let's see where the journey will take us. That being said, guys, at the end of the day, yes, drill sergeants, no drill sergeants. Don't keep eye contact with none of the drill sergeants during your basic training, and I think you should be fine. Keep out of trouble, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. I love you. Whatever you worship loves you more. It has been a journey, hasn't it? Mwah.